Hey folks, welcome back to the Super Mario Bros. 3 playthrough, and this time we're in World 4. And this time we're gonna go through what I always used to refer to as Giant Land, because that's what they call it in the cartoon series, but I guess it's actually called Big Island. But there's that one up. But yeah, I always thought it was called Giant Land. Of course, I've heard other people call it Tiny Huge Island or something like that. But yeah, I will say this is my second favorite world in the game because everything's big. I mean, well, except for some of the enemies, of course. But a lot of stuff is just gigantic. And it's kind of a nice change of pace from the rest of the game. We'll go ahead and move on to 4-2 though. And I do not know if this is another one where I show it off or not, but we'll get there here in a second if I manage to. The primary objective here is to just avoid all those cheeps that are coming at you. Do I actually show it off here? Okay, so what I'm referring to is another one of those things like in World 2, where in 2-2, if you manage to get every single coin, you can make a blue mushroom house appear. You can actually do the same thing in 4-2. And I'm pretty sure that's what's about to happen, because I did get every single coin. Aw, yeah, it does happen. But just like World 2, it's another one where you just get an anchor. And those anchor items that you get are for whenever you die at an airship, the airship will transport itself to a different part of the map. But if you use that anchor, it'll keep it from moving. It'll just keep it in one spot. Some of those blue mushroom houses, though, have P-Wing items, which I haven't really used. I haven't used any of those yet. But what they are is just unlimited flight for a level. We'll scoot on to 4-3. Gotta look out for these ones. They thick. No problem, though. Yeah, just get those buzzy beetles out of the way. And sometimes you really want to be careful in this level. It's a very good thing to have that leaf power up, the Raccoon Mario. Very good thing to have in this level because there are certain spots where you just gotta be really careful, and then if you don't make the jump, you're screwed. But there is another hidden extra life here, of course. Whoa, I don't think you can bounce on those anyway. But yeah, this is what I'm talking about. If you don't make those jumps, if you don't make that jump properly, pretty much screwed because those blocks will knock you around. No 3 stars here, unfortunately, but I still get an extra life, and I have 55 lives, so not really all that concerned about it. But here we got the card again, and do I match anything up here or no? Okay, yeah. Managed to get a fire flower out of it. Ooh. Just get out of here and get to the fortress. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Some of these thwomps you gotta look out for too because they will move at a different angle and you gotta look out for them. These specific moving thwomps also appear in later levels, but not there yet. Right now we gotta deal with another boom boom enemy. Bonk. No problem though. He'll spew out that question mark orb, and we'll get on with the business. Now, I could go into that warp pipe, but I don't recall that it leads anywhere. I also don't know if I managed to get... Do I? Yeah! Oh, yeah! I didn't think I did, because honestly, I don't really remember recording half of this stuff, but... Like I said, I'm usually garbage at those games. It's like a game within a game. Gameception, kinda. But yeah, just swim through here. Look out for Lakitu. Look out for those spike enemies he throws, which I still can't remember the name off the top of my head, which is kind of lame, really, because, I mean, they are kind of a mainstay in the Mario franchise. They're one of the few enemies that I don't remember the name of. But like a lot of levels in this game, it's actually fairly short to get through, and if you dodge all the other stuff, if you dodge them, you just manage to get through here, and got another star card. See if there's anything useful in this mushroom house. Aw, yeah, I'll take that. Another fire flower? Those things are actually really useful in certain levels. Like the battles with the Hammer Bros and the Boomerang Bros and these thick ones. And managed to get another P-Wing out of it. But I'll save those items for later. Right now I got 4-5 to deal with. Sometimes you gotta be really careful dealing with these bouncing Koopas because they will appear where you don't want them to appear. Oh, and this is the first level to introduce the oscillating bills. Which you see those flashing bullet bills like the one I just killed a moment ago. They will follow you if you aren't careful. This is also where I get to show off the next power-up in the game, the tanooki suit. As this one, well, you haven't seen this one before, but... Or maybe you have if you play this game, but if you're watching this playthrough for the first time, that's the tanooki suit, and it allows Mario to turn into a statue, and just like the raccoon leaf, it gives him the flight ability. I like it a little bit more than the raccoon ability because the fact that you can turn into a statue. And if you turn into a statue, you actually manage to keep enemies off you for a brief second. Bonk. There's also this extra life right here. And looking back on it when I recorded this, I'm actually surprised that I managed to show off the tanooki suit for this long. Because I usually end up losing it in that previous level pretty close to when I end up getting it. But no problems. Let's get that star right there. Deal with all this nonsense. Yeah, I'll take that turtle shell with me. Aw, man. Didn't end up with 3 stars there, but it's all good. I mean, like I said, you get an extra life regardless. And you got these red mushroom houses, which sometimes have special items in them. Ooh, uh-oh. Looks like I maxed out the item counter. Which actually is possible. If you end up getting a bunch of rows of items, it'll eventually just start booting items. So that P-Wing that I got at the Hammer Bro, or the thick Hammer Bro, was lost for the Fire Flower. You also want to be really careful with this fortress here, because that jump can be tricky to make. Hang on. Wait. Where is it? There it is. There's a hidden door right there that'll take you up top. You end up getting a couple extra lives for your troubles getting through here. I like to consider this a prequel to World 7, because that's pretty much a majority of what World 7 is just scooting through all these pipes. Which, I mean, makes sense since Mario's a plumber and he's got to deal with all this stuff here. But yeah, for your troubles, you get a couple extra lives, and those will be not only here, as you see in that block, although most of the time that won't actually end up appearing if you don't scoot to the right. But yeah, there's an extra life, as well as 3 more extra lives that'll show up in this giant block here. Those giant blocks are usually pretty cool because of the tanooki suits and the 3 lives and just good stuff. Bonk. Deal with this boom boom enemy here. Once again, get another question orb. Yeah, go ahead and see what's going on over here. Sometimes I actually manage to get lucky enough that I match items. Though it's not gonna happen this time. Dang. See what this talking castle over here has to say. Hey, it's Donkey Kong Jr., which I believe is the last appearance Donkey Kong Jr. makes in a Nintendo game. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Well, once again, we got another one of these auto-scrolling airships, and this one ain't so bad, it just moves kind of slow. It moves a little bit slower than the previous 3. But really, it ain't all that difficult. Plus, I think the Koopaling battle at the end of this is one of the easier ones to deal with. But this is also the first airship to show off those things. There's gray platforms that just kind of, I guess they're supposed to be like screws almost, as they just kind of move when you jump on them, but definitely, those things definitely become more of an annoyance throughout these airships. Those fire things. Normally those things shoot out bullet bills, but here they got fire. You want to look out for those enemies too, as they show up a lot on these auto-scrolling airships. I don't know if those are wrenches or bones that they throw at you. I always used to think they were bones since they are evil, and it just seems like a spooky, scary kind of bad guy kind of thing to throw as a projectile. But they could be wrenches. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised either way, to tell you the truth. And I'm glad I was able to get up top here to avoid all this nonsense. But yeah, I mentioned earlier that this is actually a pretty easy Koopa to deal with. And unfortunately, I can't remember the name off the top of my head. He's just another Koopa to me. But he's also easy to deal with, so I'll go ahead and get that magic wand right here. And World 4 is completed. And honestly, folks, I think with this, I'll go ahead and end this part here, and we'll pick it back up in World 5 for part number 5. And this is Fromark of the Fromark Plays Show, and I will see you for that. Oh hey, another P-Wing. Cool.